a personal thank you for being here with your exceptional team from Utah. It'll come as no surprise to my colleagues that I oftentimes mention all the ways that Utah leads the nation in all the categories. This one really matters, though. That Utah has shown that we have an exceptional approach, strong leadership in placing with timely placements and safe and proper family reunification. I can't think of a better area to lead than doing that. I know that the team here that you have is passionate about this, and just thank you for the involvement. So you focus on results, you focus on reunification, you focus on kinship. You've talked to me about all of this. I want to ask a question. There's been challenges, though. You're doing a lot of great things in Utah, but there's obviously key challenges. Highlight some of those for us, and just share for us how you're overcoming those.
Thank you so much, Representative Moore, and just a personal thanks to you as well for being so interested and really a leader in our state on this issue. There are challenges, and I think they are worth highlighting. Of course, there's challenges with what's going on with families in general right now. We know our system, and I think nationally it's a challenge as well, that we're seeing increasingly youth with behaviorally complex conditions. The causes of that, I think, we're all still trying to grapple with. That creates a challenge for finding foster care placements and recruiting families that have the skills. It also creates challenges for our workforce who may need different training to address the needs of those youth. We also have extremely high turnover, and I don't think Utah is unique with that. Our caseworker turnover rate is 51%. Our frontline staff turnover rate is 37%. We know how important the caseworker is to get the outcomes that we all want. Then, of course, there's the administrative challenges that I briefly touched on at the very beginning. You've got a very complex funding system. Just in Title IV-B, you've got funding that was from a line from the 1930s, and then one from 1993, different definitions, different reports. How do we overcome all of this? Well, proper training for our staff using Title IV-B funds has been critical, and more can be done there. We have an extensive administrative infrastructure just to handle our federal grants. We have about 20 full-time staff just to handle that piece. That is how we're overcoming the administrative challenge, quite honestly. You've got to have the staff in order to ensure we're accountable to all of you for our funding. And then we're braiding and blending funding. These are individuals and families with very complex needs. They are not just needs within the child welfare system. And we as a state are very focused with the leadership of Governor Cox to come together across the executive branch and braid funding, and certainly doing it within Title IV-B and IV-E primarily.
As you focus on measuring outcomes for Title IV-B, is there one or two specific things that we need to be focused on at the federal level?
I think the keeping families stable and safe children is paramount. I mean, we're all talking about child well-being here. So keeping children safely in their homes, I think, is the most critical outcome. And when they can't be, making sure that they're stabilized in their placement, and ideally getting those families back to the point that the child could be reunified. And those are the outcomes that we really are focused on in Utah.
Thank you so much. Final question for Ms. Beidelkar. Last Congress, I introduced the Connecting Forever Families Act to expedite the process for placing those in foster care systems for support of forever homes. This Congress, our work is going to continue on that. Any specific improvements or innovations that you believe could enhance the court improvement and its impact on these cases?
Thank you, Congressman, both for the question and for supporting the court improvement program through the legislation that you've introduced previously. I think one of the things that you had highlighted in that legislation was greater investment in technology to build on what we've learned from the past several years. There's a lot of takeaways for our legal system writ large, but especially for child welfare cases, related to times when the use of technology can really expedite a case and make sure that we don't have delays that are unnecessary. In terms of party participation, we've also seen a lot of opportunities for engaging both the children and youth who are a part of these cases and parents, as well as other participants in these hearings if they choose to do so by remote technology. So that's one area. And then I think another really pivotal topic that's come up a couple of times today is about access to counsel, and especially when sort of looking at different types of access to counsel, both before there is a removal decision that occurs. There's a number of CIPs around the country that have been investing in small-scale models right now of what we call pre-petition or preventive legal advocacy, and building up on some of those models I think would be a terrific area to develop more resources and more contributions from the CIPs going forward.
Thank you. We'll keep going down that path. Appreciate it. Thank you, witnesses.